Cells are the basic units of life. They're comprised of subcellular structures known as organelles, which have specific functions to perform, similar to organs in the human body. Based on its internal structure, cells can be divided into two groups, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes are unicellular organisms that lack membrane-bound organelles and a defined nucleus. A well-known prokaryote is the bacteria. Eukaryotes, on the contrary, are either single-cell or multicellular organisms that possess a defined nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. Examples of eukaryotes include the animal cell and plant cell. Let's look at an animal cell. The layer that surrounds and protects the cell is the cell membrane, also known as the plasma membrane. It functions to separate the cell interior from the external environment and regulate entry and exit of materials. Inside the membrane is filled with a thick, gel-like solution called cytoplasm, which holds the organelles for chemical reactions. The cellular activities are controlled by the nucleus, a membrane-bound organelle that contains the genetic material in the form of DNA or chromosomes. Here, the organelle ribosomes are assembled and released into the cytoplasm. They function to synthesize proteins to carry out repairs and direct chemical processes. Next to the nucleus is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. This is a membrane network of multiple functions, namely for the synthesis of proteins. The name is derived from its appearance, where numerous ribosomes are attached in place. This is followed by the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which lacks the ribosomes but instead is responsible for the synthesis and storage of lipids. The proteins generated from said organelles eventually arrive at the Golgi apparatus to be packaged and exported. Beside the Golgi apparatus are vesicles, the organelles that store and transport materials within the cell. Lysosomes functions as the digestive system of the cell, for it breaks down excess or worn-out cellular components. The vacuoles are sacs that store nutrients and even waste products to sustain the life of the cell. The barrel-shaped organelles here are called the centrioles, which primarily function to help the process of cell division in animal cells. Last but not least is the mitochondria, the organelle commonly known as the powerhouse of the cell, due to their role of ATP production through cell respiration. A typical plant cell has a similar composition as that of an animal cell, but comes with several additional organelles to fulfill their unique function. First, the plant cell is equipped with a cell wall for additional structural support and protection against foreign elements. Perhaps one of the most notable additions within the plant cell are the chloroplasts, the organelles that are responsible for producing glucose through photosynthesis. Another addition, or rather change, is the vacuole. This is typically named the large or central vacuole due to its size, and the organelle serves to store water and maintain the turgidity. This is the pressure exerted by the cell to push the cell membrane against the cell wall. Maintenance of the turgidity is important in keeping the plant rigid and stable. The bacteria possesses a set of organelles that differ from the aforementioned eukaryotic cells. The outermost structure of the bacterial cell is the capsule, a layer that covers the cell wall for additional protection. The hair-like structures attached to the exterior of the cell are phyllae, which help the cell adhesion and transfer of DNA between two cells. The longer structure amongst the phyllae is the flagella, which is responsible for the locomotion of the organism. Under the cell capsule is the cell wall, followed by the cell membrane, which is followed by the cytoplasm. At the center of the bacteria cell is occupied by the nucleoid, an irregular region that contains most of the genetic material. It controls all activities of the cell as well as reproduction of the organism. The rings near the nucleoid are plasmids. These are small circles of DNA that carry a few genes. Often these genes give out the cell antibiotic resistance. It is worth noting that not all bacteria cells have the capsule, flagella, or phyllae, meaning that different bacteria cells may or may not possess these properties.